Hi everyone, today we are going to draw this beautiful sunset view in Procreate. Let's start. Let's create new canvas, A4 canvas from Procreate. And here's the color palette I will be using, you can download it, link is in the description. And we are going to take this first color here, and we will start drawing the sky. Let's pick the brush, go to airbrushing, and pick medium brush. My brush size here will be 15%, and I'm going to add this color to the top part of the canvas, like this. And now we can take another color, next one in line, and let's draw it below that first color. You don't have to be here very precise. Let's take next color, add it a little bit lower. Now let's take another color, next one in line. And again, let's draw a stripe like this. One more color here, this time this yellow one. And let's move on to the next color, orange. And we have two more colors. First this one, dark orange. And the last, this red one. Now we have to blur this. To do that, we are going to go to Adjustments, and we can pick Gaussian Blur. Swipe your pencil on the screen to add the blur size, and let's make it 60%. You don't want to add too much, but also you don't want to do too little. Okay, let's tap here to finish. And now there might be some empty spaces between those colors, and that's why we're going to change the background color. So let's go here, tap on the background color, and let's pick this one here, third one in line. Let's tap on Done, and now the sky is completely colored. We can make a new layer now, so tap on this plus, and we are going to draw the sun. Let's change the color, take the first one in the second line, and first we are going to draw the color around the sun. Let's draw a circle like this. Okay, now let's take the color for the sun, next one in line, almost white, and we can make the brush size smaller, 9%. And we can draw a circle in the middle here like this. Now we have to blur this so it will blend better with the sky. So let's go to the Adjustments, pick Gaussian Blur, and here we can make the blur size 37%. Tap here to finish, and now we have to draw the sun again. Okay, now we can move on and start drawing the clouds. Let's make a new layer for them. Let's change the color. Let's take this yellow one here. And with this color, we're going to draw the clouds closer to the sun. Let's change the brush. Let's take this one, soft airbrush. Let's make the brush opacity 52% and brush size 27%. Draw simple cloud shapes like this. You can make them bigger and smaller. You can even draw just simple lines. Okay, now we can change the brush opacity to 100%. And the brush size 11%. We can add some more color to those clouds in a few places like this. Make it look like they are hit more by the sun. And let's draw a few more clouds. Okay, and this should be enough. Now we can change the color to this one here. We are going to color the parts that are away from the sun. And let's make the brush size bigger, 23%. And we can add it somewhere here, like this, on top of the clouds. Okay, now we can draw some clouds on the top part of the sky. For this we are going to change the color. Let's take this one. And we can draw clouds here. Let's make those clouds bigger than the ones at the bottom. As you can see, I'm really kind of just doodling here. I'm not trying to create any specific shape of the cloud. So drawing clouds this way is very easy, and I think it looks nice. If you're enjoying this video so far and would like to draw more with me, please check out my Patreon where I have more tutorials like this, and I also have special brushes for Procreate. Link is in the description. Let's make one big cloud here on top still, like this. And a few more lines. Something like that. Okay, now we can change the color. Let's take this brown one here. We can turn down the brush opacity to 73%. And let's keep the brush size 23%. And we can color with top parts of the clouds. Not all of them, just few. And one more color for the clouds. Let's take this light one here. And we can add it at the bottom part of the clouds. And also draw a few new ones. Okay, this should be enough clouds. Now we can move on and start drawing our plants in the foreground. Let's make a new layer for this. Let's pick the color, take the first one in the third line, and we are going to change the brush here. Let's go to inking and pick syrup. Let's start with a brush size 100%, and we are going to draw the line at the bottom of the canvas that will represent a lot of plants there. Let's make it uneven like this. Again, I'm not drawing here anything precise, just doodling. And now on top of this, we can start drawing grass strands. Let's draw it in different directions. Okay, for now this should be enough. And we can move on and start drawing more specific plants, more specific grass. Let's make the brush size 30%. And I'm going to draw here two simple plants. If you want, you can draw some other kind of plants or grasses, whatever you like. This is the shape I'm picking for my illustration. And here I'm not being very precise with this shape because we are going to blur this. This will be the blurred foreground of our illustration. And then after that, we are still going to draw foreground that will be less blurred, closer to us. So this is really a second plan of our illustration. Okay, now here I'm going to draw one more type of plant. Something like this. So like I said, you can draw here one type of plant, two plants, three. However you think it will look nice for your illustration. Now let's move to this side of the illustration. Let's make it maybe more busy at the bottom. Let's add some more grass there. And now it's time to blur this. So let's go to the adjustments, pick Gaussian blur, and here we can make the blur size 8%. So our second plan of the illustration is finished. Now we can draw the first plan. Let's make a new layer for this. We are going to change the color. Let's take this second one here, darker one. And we are going to draw here the same plants like a moment ago. And here maybe let's be more precise, because we are not going to blur this so much. Let's make those plants also a little bit higher, so they will stand out in the illustration. Let's draw one more like this here. And now some smaller ones. Let's do one more on this side. And now we can move on and draw the high grass. So just keep drawing those two kind of plants in your illustration. Make more lines at the bottom of the illustration. Now let's make one tall grass here on this side. And now smaller ones here at the bottom. Okay, I think this should be enough of the grass in the first plane. We can blur this, but not too much. So let's go to the adjustments, pick Gaussian blur. And let's make the blur size 3%. Let's tap here to finish. And now at the end, we are going to add some light effects. So let's make a new layer for this. Let's change the color. Let's take this one here. And now we can change the brush. Let's go to luminance. And let's pick bokeh lights. Let's make the brush size 61%. And now very lightly add some of those lights in the illustration. Don't use too much pressure with your pencil. Now we can change the blend mode of this layer. So let's tap here and let's set it to add. It will make it glow more. Let's turn down the opacity. Let's make it 37%. Now we can add some more other lights. Let's make new layer for this. We are going to keep the same color. And here we're going to change the brush. I'm going to pick my free brush. It's called Stars. The link for this is in the description box. You can download it. Let's make the brush size 10%. And again, very lightly, let's draw it in a few places. We are going to change the blend mode of this layer too. Let's set it to add. And let's turn down the opacity to 80%. To make this not so intense and not so, let's say, stars looking, I want it to look more like some kind of dust particles. I'm going to blur this. So let's take the Gaussian blur and make the blur size 7%. And now if you want, you can adjust the position of this. We can take the arrow tool and we can just make it bigger and move it around on the canvas. Okay, I think I will still change the opacity of this layer. I'm going to make it 70%. Let's see how this looks. Okay, I think I will also turn down the opacity of these other lights. Let's make this 25%. And now this illustration is finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and please share your drawing with me on my Instagram. And now I have a special shout out to my big fan supporters on Patreon. Thank you so much for being there with me. Thank you so much for watching and see you in my next video. Bye!